This is not the flag on the moon. This is actually the flag on the moon. Did you also know that this flag was just a school project which was given a B- grade? You probably think this is the original flag from the very beginning. Nope. The US flag has actually changed 27 times. It has had versions with the stars in a circle, versions with 15 stripes instead of 13, and even a version with a rattlesnake on it. But today I'm not going deep into that history, I just wanted to tell you some surprising things you have probably never heard about this flag. Keeping in mind that some of the rules that I'm going to talk about may apply to other countries also, let's start the video. The B- homework assignment. The flag we use today with the 50 stars was actually a high school class project. In 1958, a 17-year-old named Robert Heft designed it for his history class. He spent 12 hours sewing it in his room. His teacher gave him a B-. Why? Because the teacher said it didn't have enough imagination. But Robert didn't give up. He sent the flag to the White House. President Eisenhower loved it so much that he chose it to be the official national flag. The teacher actually changed Robert's grade to an A after that. Why it stopped growing? We all know that there are certain stripes for the original colonies. But for a little while, the United States started adding a new stripes for every new state. Eventually, they realized that if they keep doing that, the stripes would get so thin that the flag would look like a barcode. In 1818, they made a rule that says the flag should stay at certain stripes and just add a star for every new state. Guys, I'm suffering with a small likes and subscribers. You know what to do. Okay, let's continue. The night light rule. Have you ever noticed that most flags are taken down when the sun goes down? There is a reason for that. According to the rules, the flag is only supposed to be flown from sunrise to sunset. If you want to keep it up all night, there is a catch. It must be lit up. If you leave it in the dark, it is technically considered disrespectful. So to apply this rule properly, most flags have to come down at night. But there are a few special places where the flag is legally allowed to fly 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, regardless of the weather. This includes the White House, the Washington Monument, and the United States ports at the borders. These spots are considered so important that the flag never sleeps there. So if the spotlight burns out at the White House, someone has to fix it as soon as possible. The proper way to say goodbye. What do you do when a flag gets old and torn? You don't just throw it in the trash. That is a huge no-no. The official respectful way to dispose of an American flag is actually to burn it. But it has to be done in a dignified, ceremonial way, usually by a group like the Boy Scouts or at a military post. The reverse uniform glitch. If you look at the flag on the United States soldiers' uniforms, it looks like it's facing the wrong way. The stars are on the right, not the left. This is not a mistake. The rule is that the stars must always face forward. Think of it like a flag on a pole. As a soldier runs into battle, the wind would blow the stripes behind them. If the stars were on the left, it would look like the soldier is retreating or running away. So on the right arm, the flag is reversed to show the country is always moving forward. The flag is older than the Constitution. Most people assume the flag was created after the United States was fully set up. But the American flag is actually 10 years older than the United States Constitution. The flag was officially authorized by Congress in 1777, but the Constitution, the actual rule book for the country, wasn't even written until 1787. The world's biggest super flag. There is a version of the flag called the super flag, and it is absolutely massive. It is 505 feet wide and 255 feet tall. To give you an idea about how big that is, it is longer than 1.5 football fields. It weighs about 3,000 pounds, which is the weight of a small car. It takes hundreds of people just to carry it, and it costs about $80,000 to make it. The no touch myth. You have to burn it. Everyone says if the flag touches the ground, you have to burn it immediately. That's a myth. The rule is that you should try not to let it touch the ground. But if it does, you don't have to burn it. You just need to clean it. As long as it's not turned dirty or looking unfit to be a symbol, you can just pick it up, dust it off, and keep using it. The white flags on the moon. There are currently 6 American flags sitting on the surface of the moon. But if you go there today, you will not see any red, white, or blue because of the intense unfiltered UV radiation from the sun. The colors have been completely bleached away over the last 50 years. Those flags are now pure white. The Great Seal of the United States. If you look at the Great Seal, the eagle, the flag's themes are hidden everywhere. The bald eagle is holding 13 arrows in one claw and an olive branch with 13 leaves in the other, then 13 stars in a cloud above its head. They were really obsessed with making sure nobody forgot these original 13 colonies. The meaning of the colors. The colors are not just there because they look good. They actually have an official meaning. Red stands for valor and bravery. White stands for purity and innocence or starting fresh as a new nation. Blue stands for vigilance, perseverance, and justice. When you see those colors, you are looking at the personality the United States wants to have. The identity crisis. Before the stars and stripes, United States had a flag that looked like a confusing mix of American and British. It was called the Grand Union flag. George Washington actually flew this flag at his headquarters in 1776. Here's the funny part. It had the British Union Jack in the corner because at the time the colonies were not 100% sure they wanted to leave England yet. They were like, we are mad at the king, but we are still kind of British. When Washington first raised it, the British soldiers watching it from a distance actually cheered because they thought he was surrendering. They saw the Union Jack and thought, oh, they're coming back to us. Washington realized pretty quickly that the new country needed a design that didn't look like their ex-boss. The rattlesnake versus the turkey. Before the stars were the main symbol, Ben Franklin had a total different idea for the vibe of America. He loved the rattlesnake. He thought the rattlesnake was the perfect symbol because it never attacks unless it's stepped on. But once it starts a fight, it never gives up. He even suggested that the colonies should send a gift of rattlesnake to England to say thank you for all the trouble. Even weirder, Franklin hated the bald eagle. He called it bird of bad moral character because it steals fish from other birds instead of hunting for itself. He actually wanted the turkey to be the national bird. He said the turkey was much more respectable and courageous bird. The unspoken respect. You have seen flags dropped over caskets at military funerals. It is a beautiful and sad tradition. But there is a very strict rule. The flag never goes into the ground. Before the casket is lowered, the flag is carefully folded into a perfect triangle by a team of soldiers. The 13 folds each have a secret meaning, and once it's folded, the stars are the only thing showing. The folded flag is then handed to the family as a permanent thank you. The flag is allowed to guard the soldier during the service, but it's never allowed to be buried. It stays alive with the family. Thank you for watching, and again, I will be happy if you like and subscribe for me.